Hello, welcome everybody. I'm Peter Csillag, one of the owner, founder, leader of Starsky and VerDB, two Hungarian startups or companies working in the data industry. And I will talk about these costs of getting involved in the data economy. So how to become, what are the steps and what are the costs, related costs to become data driven? And well, you know, that's, I like this phrase. Actually, I'm not even, so I'm atheist, so I don't even have the first part. And the thing is that what all remains is data. So any decisions, you know, we can make, it can only be based on data. That's what I believe. And actually, I brought you data. So the thing why I'm here is really, and talking about this topic, it's really about the history of my company. So Starschema, what we have built, it's all about data. So we have lived the last 10 years in this data revolution. And you see that in 2006, we have started with very traditional BI and data warehousing. And then we started to extend it to open source, and we started to work with, you know, parallel system and distributed data processing, and then we have started with data visualizations and all these new, you know, kind of solutions on the data field. We were adopters and we started to work with these, and now we are there to, you know, search for the next big things. So actually that was my data. No, I'm pretty sure I will be credible with my opinion then. Okay, so the actions, yeah. So what to do first? How to become data driven? And well, the first thing it looks easy, but it's not, because first you have to make a decision, a very tough decision about all your actions, all your decisions in the future will be based on information gained from data. And that's bad, because you have to release, I have a method, I call it triple B decision making. It's Belgian beer-based decision making. You know, it's the process when you drink Belgian beer and you have very good ideas and you immediately start to implement it, and you have to let it go. That's bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't drink Belgian beer, but first, before starting to do any actions, you have to have data and analyze it. And of course, if you want to use your data, then you still will need the systems, the solutions which can help you to manage the data and gain these informations. Okay, so how to start? The next step should be, it's like a data audit. So you have to identify where you are, what are the data assets, what are the processes to work with the data, what is your existing technology, how do you deal with data right now. But the most important is really making an audit, having a clear understanding who are your people, what is your organization, and what is your company culture inside that organization managing the data, because that's the most important. All the rest you can easily change. You can change the technology very easily, processes not so easily, data assets of course you can buy or you can generate or you can get your hands on different data assets, but the thing is that changing your organization and the culture related to the data management, that's very difficult and costly. Some highlights, what things worth to audit at your organization. So what is your current cost of storing and processing of data? That's also important. What is the latency which is acceptable for you related to data? And of course, a very important thing, variety of the consumption of the data. What are the different ways of using your data now? And then you have, you know, the baseline. That's where I now. And then, you know, you have to set up the target line. So what is your goals? What are your goals? Where do you want to go? And I mean, really, these should be real goals. We have heard in the previous presentations that, you know, a goal is something related to your basic activity. If you are a business, it should contain revenue. So you should have higher revenue. That's a goal. And you want to decrease costs, you want to increase the efficiency. If you are a non-profit, then okay, it's not revenue, but efficiency definitely in picture. And another very valid goal these days is the career, managed careers inside your organization around data analytics. We have all heard about that. Data analytics, data science, it's the sexiest job of 21st century, and you should use that, and you should provide this career path to your people to become data scientists or get involved in the data science that will help to reach your goals. And of course, you know, competitiveness. If all other, all the competitors in your industry started already to use the data better than you, then you will lose competitiveness. So on the right, yeah, you see a little bit more detailed goals, but really one of the most important, and it's not frequently emphasized, but it's very important, that engage the people, and you should align the personal career goals with the company needs. Otherwise, your company, your organization will not be able to change with the technology. You will not be able to use the new methods of processing data. Okay, so then you set your goals, then you have to choose some kind of solution how to become data-driven. Of course, goals, you have the current status, and this is basically you select the path, the method, how to get from here to there. And the easiest thing what we see, and probably one of maybe the only working valid thing what we have seen, is really running the POCs. Everybody, yeah, many people just make the mistake that they think that they are smart enough that in the beginning of a big change of implementing a new system or a new method of managing data, they think that they can plan in advance all the necessary steps to become data-driven. But that's not the truth. Nobody can. And that's why we really love these POCs, that if you spend your time and money, and yeah, it costs money. So yeah, I just forgot to mention that in the bottom there are always, you know, some high-level amounts indicated. What do we think? How do we see that this process or this step, how much it will cost? But for the POCs, yes, it will already be a relevant amount of money to spend and your time and effort. But again, here, what you should focus on, it's not only the technology, because technology, again, it's easy. You will have a long list of, a long checklist, and you will check that this technology can do this or that. And there are also some recommendation from my side that what evaluation you should do on technology. But really, the most important thing here is that select the technology, select the solution which fits your team and your company culture. And once you have selected this technology, very good, you have to start to implement, and also as soon as you implement it, you have to think about how to operate, how to improve, and how to govern that, data management solution. Well, of course, you have to decide if you want to buy or rent. Very important that focus on the goal and run agile in the implementation phase. So you should be agile by changing the necessary steps during the implementation. Again, education, improving your staff, improving your people, it's a very important thing. And yeah, the change you should consider as well as part of implementation. You probably already have some data management processes in place. You will change it to something else. There will be losers of this change. There will be some other people who have benefits of this change. Just, you know, consider that all these people who are in the process and who are in the middle of these changes, you should manage their personal feelings, career goals, and whatsoever. And once you have, you know, something implemented, you think immediately on how to operate it. You know, you set up SLAs, governance, GDPR, and all the regulations and compliance will come into picture. As data, you know, we all know that data is more and more important to our business. that of course, governance and protection of the data will be more and more important and more costly in that way. Yeah. Okay, some other advices around. On the previous one, there was a question that, not on this one, if you want to go with cloud or on-premise. But of course, these days, I would only say that don't even think anything else than cloud-based data processing and data management. Cloud is much more flexible and cheaper and more scalable and more secure these days. So that's almost not a question except of special cases. And yeah, that's one example or one reference architecture we use. Actually, we have implemented it at a couple of clients. And the thing is just really to have an understanding that what can be delivered in a certain amount of time and for a certain amount of money. Yeah, approximately in 1 year, you can have a real-time analytical data lake, which has all the batch and all the stream data processing and data flows, and you have the static part of storing the data. You also have some more user-friendly, we call it speed layer, where you have quicker access to that data and a little bit more structured access to that data, and you can have all the data consumption applications you need, either data science or machine learning or just simple regular data visualization discovery tools. That's what we think it's doable in approximately 1 year, and if you are a big enough company, you can have it approximately for $1 million. Oh, I have additional information here. Okay, and this is another example. Once you have an analytical data lake, once you have some analytical applications on top of it, how can you use it? One of our new improvements at one of the clients of ours, it was an AI-driven reconciliation automation. So AI and automation comes into the picture here. Okay, you have financial data, you have the accounting information. This financial reconciliation at every end of month costs you a lot of money and effort. And what we have done, we have implemented a pretty simple AI application which does it 90% automatically. And it saved like 15 full-time employee for that particular company. It's altogether around $1 million US. So very direct cost saving based on that architecture we have seen previously. Yeah, and that was it from my side. Thank you very much.